Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'd like to talk to you about my new rifle. It is a Aero Precision M5-E1 chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. A couple of videos back you know that I'm new to the AR platform. I bought DPMS 223. I built my own 6.5 Grendel, and now I've kind of moved up to a precision rifle that's quite frankly better than I am, but again, I want to learn, I want to get really good. So I kind of bit the bullet and bought a precision firearm. This particular firearm has a 15-inch M-lock handguard, has M16 cut 8620 steel bolt, M4 feed ramps. It has something that I'm new that I've never had before, which is an actual muzzle brake compensator combination. This is by Precision Armament. After firing the rifle, I can see its value because the compensator portion of it keeps the muzzle from rising so that you can keep the target in the scope without having to reacquire. The muzzle brake itself cuts back probably 50 to 60% on recoil. Not that the recoil was very bad in the first place on 6.5 Creedmoor, but it makes it quite pleasant to shoot. The downside to this rifle is there's only one, and it's heavy. It's with the scope and everything on it, it's 14 pounds. So this is not a firearm that I'm going to be packing around in the woods. And it probably wasn't made for that. It was probably made for the precision shooter, the type of person that likes to shoot long range. You've seen many of the videos of people shooting out there, heck, 1,000 yards out to a mile, using the 6.5 Creedmoor. Well, that cartridge was new to me, so it took quite a learning curve in terms of reloading. I rolled my own. The lower on this Aero Precision is a Generation 2 with a 308 parts kit. I did have some upgrades that, seeing how I was going in deep anyway, I might as well get, but I probably went above my ability level at this point. Eventually I hope to get better after 500-600 rounds or whatever it takes for me to become totally familiar with a precision firearm. And that is a Timney Calvin Elite trigger. This trigger is made primarily for bench rest shooters. Has a 1.5 pound pull on the trigger. It also has adjustable shoes that you can add to it so that you can put the trigger placement anywhere that you want inside the trigger guard. You also have these add-ons so that you can tilt the paddle of the trigger at an angle so that you don't pull your sight alignment off target. It is too light for me, and I say that because I experienced what some of you may have already experienced with lighter trigger pulls, and that's something called a bump fire. Now, my previous training as far as my trigger pull is concerned is on all of my rifles was as I squeeze the trigger and pull it, as soon as it breaks, my finger has been trained to automatically let off. Rather than a complete follow-through that most of you know as far as the AR-15 or the MSR, that you need to follow through completely, hold, and allow the trigger to reset before you acquire your second shot. So what happened as a result of me relaxing my trigger finger, as a result of the recoil, the trigger is so fast that the trigger was actually engaging my finger again for a boom boom, a double shot. At first I thought it was kind of interesting because looking at my target there wasn't an inch difference between the first and second shot, and I thought, well, that's cool. But most of you know that that's, if you didn't intend it that way, it's not a safe situation. The other things that I ran into was trying to get used to this Magpul PRS Generation 3 stock. It's got a longer length of pull. It's not adjustable in terms of like a collapsible stock. It's got a 308 buffer tube in it that's pretty heavy and heavy spring. It does have this adjustable cheek weld, which I really like. It allows you to adjust to get right on your side alignment, and it's very nice. It also has this kind of flat portion down here, so if you are shooting from the bench, you've got a solid base to support that end of your rifle for shooting. I also have this Ergo Deluxe grip. It's really quite fat and fits my hand really well, so I really like it. After shooting rounds 10 through 20, I finally did learn how to do follow through on that trigger to hold all the way to the end and then release to prevent that bump fire. So today I did not have that problem. At some point in time, I hope to get to Washington State, about 800 miles from here. I'll certainly walk into the Aero Precision plant and shake their hands, because this is a fabulous, fabulous rifle. The best rifle I own. I'm not going to be doing some, the 1,000-yard shooting or any of that kind of stuff. Hell, I can't even see that far. But in my normal range of shooting from 25 yards out to 500 yards, this is a precision, very precise firearm. One of the things I learned about the 6.5 cartridge itself and a precision firearm is you have to pay close attention to detail on your reloading. The cartridge itself has a 30-degree shoulder. Now, every rifle is a law unto itself. No two chambers are alike, no two barrels are alike, none of that. But on a precision rifle, sometimes the chamber can be quite tight. So you have to pay very close attention in your resizing die to bump that shoulder back at least 2 thousandths from where it expanded in your chamber to. Otherwise, you could run into high pressure situations. That happened to me. On the first 12 shots that I had out of this rifle, even on very low and mild loads, with 129 grain Hornady interlock bullet using Winchester 760 powder, I was having flattened primers and extractor marks on the case head. On my 12th shot, I actually had a pierced primer. Not a pierced primer, a blown primer. I've never had that before, and I stopped shooting right then and there. Came back, contacted some friends of mine that are proficient in reloading, that do precision shooting long range, and they shoot the 6.5 Creedmoor, and they told me exactly what the problem was. So I bought a headspace gauge to add to my reloading repertoire, and that fixed the problem as far as the case was concerned. But still, even with the tight chamber, I'm getting almost 100 to 150 feet per second faster than what is listed in the Hornady book for starting loads. So I never had to go above the middle load. The starting load is like 39, 39 grains of 760 powder up to 45 grains of 760 powder. I settled on 41 grains. And I'll show you why I settled on 41. Here's my target from today. As you can see, this was my first load at 39 and a half, and the velocity was already over 2,700 feet per second. My second at half a grain higher, you can see the 5-shot group. That's a half an inch group. I love it. I adjusted the scope downward. This is all at 100 yards, and that was my final group. And folks, that's better than I can shoot. So as far as I'm concerned, I just stopped right there, and that will be my load from now on. That's a little over 2,800 feet per second for the 129 grain pill. Obviously, this rifle was probably intended to use heavier grain bullets, etc. But for what I'm going to primarily be doing with this rifle, which is prairie dogs, coyotes, varmints out to as far as I can shoot. The lighter grain, or the mid-grain, 129 grain is definitely mid-grain, is what's appropriate for me. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you got good information out of it. A precision rifle is new to me. I probably will have some more shooting updates on it as I get better. I just certainly don't want to embarrass myself on YouTube by my shooting technique until I learn the proper technique to address this rifle, to have good sight alignment, good trigger control, good follow through, and continue to have good groups. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, ask a question. I'll be glad to talk to you. Thanks again for watching. Have a nice day.